Welcome back, gang. In our last episode, we sterilized and poured these Petri dishes. We left the lab and we waited for the agar to solidify. Now we're back, we've re-showered, we are in our clean lab clothes and we're ready to go. We use ethyl alcohol to sterilize, much better than rubbing alcohol. And to sterilize our scalpel, we use this fancy sterilizer. A flame will work, or another sterilizer. Just heat is the ticket. All right, so we're going to get right to it. This is our Petri dish we have selected here. The reason why this is a nice Petri dish is there is space between the leading edge of the mycelium and the edge of the Petri dish right there. The reason we like that is it's easy to spot any contamination before it grows right up into the edge. All right, you want to select a good clean looking Petri dish because you're about to expand this mycelium and you just want to expand the mycelium, not the contaminants. All right, and so look at that mycelium, it's gorgeous. All right, so our scalpel is hot, it's sterilized, we want to cool it down. We're going to use this sterilized agar as the place to cool it. So we're going to pull up the bottom one, stick it in the agar, cool it down so it doesn't hurt your precious little mycelium. Keep in mind always where the tip of that scalpel is. So you can see it's up and away. We're going to go ahead and select a chunk of mycelium, cutting a little cube out of the leading edge of mycelium. That's the most aggressive mycelium. It's in its growth state. That's the one we want, although any of the mycelium will work. We want to set this right at the center of our new Petri dish so it has a nice even space to expand out in its little mode, its two-dimensional universe that it likes to do. It's amazing. So we have a nice center there. We're putting that down. Again, we're keeping the scalpel clean so we can just go straight in. Now you can see we're chunking a little chunk off the leading edge. I like to start in the back of the Petri dish I'm pulling from. That way I'm not going over the mycelium and I can just work my way around. So now we're going to the next Petri dish up the thing, putting it nice and centered, make sure it's flat. We're flipping it over there. So there we go. There you go. You can do it, big guy. Right in the center. Bang. Another Petri dish down. Let's get closer. Here we are. So now you can really see the leading edge of the mycelium. We're just chunking it right there, pulling out a nice piece, sticking our scalpel in. Again, very important to think about where your hands are in relation to the fan and your other hands. We're putting it right centered, another one down. All right, so we've done enough. We've actually done that whole stack. Magic of video. Now we're going to put the parafilm on. So the purpose of the parafilm is basically a filter. You want a gas exchange happening, but you want to filter so that no contaminants can get in. All right, I kind of went overboard on the parafilm here. All right, I even cut it. You just need to go around and overlap. Looking back on this video, I see why I ran out of parafilm before I should have. What I wound up using, folks, just because materials like this didn't come easy to me, is I've used a microporous tape, right? Like a fine medical tape, and it's been working great, although I would prefer the parafilm because it goes on and comes off easy. I just got to restock when I go back to the States. So you can see it stretches around, snap it off, and then we label. GL is going to be where we start. That is for Ganoderma lucidium. If you know your Latin, that is reishi. What a beautiful. And then we're going to use, I'm going to initial, even though I'm the only one working in the lab. And then I also like to do the date is extremely important. So it's nice to put what generation Petri is, so P and a number. I wanted to show you guys again from this angle. So now you can really see how you move the tip of the scalpel in relation to your hands and the lid. So you can see that hands off to the side. Scalpel is going to go straight up in front of the fan. Underneath goes the lid. Pull off the new lid to the side. Bang, right in there. So if you pay attention, my hands aren't going in front of themselves. That is the important to lab work. It's pretty easy, but it is extremely important. You got to think about what you're doing. Where your hand are, boom, lid comes down, and we're in there. Second leg goes down. You keep going on like that. Oh, hey, big guy. Yeah, put on some of that parafilm. All right, take it easy, bud. Just a little bit. And once you get all your Petri dishes inoculated, you get them all labeled, then put them in a safe place in your lab. It depends on the mycelium and the temperatures, but it takes anywhere from about 4 days to a week for that mycelium to grow out, at which point you can go ahead and use those Petri dishes to inoculate grain blocks, more Petri dishes, or test tubes. It's awesome. Away you go. The mycelium is running.